Welcome back everyone to this tutorial about SQL subqueries. A subquery simply means a query nested inside another query. We have two types of subqueries. The first one is non-correlated queries. And when we say non-correlated queries, that means the queries that inside doesn't correlated with the queries or the queries is the outside. So let's understand what I mean here from this example. Here I'm saying select product name, unit price from products. And I'm giving this condition where unit price is greater than, and here between two parentheses I have another query. And we call this query is subquery. And when we say they are not correlated, we mean that when we select this subquery and execute it, it will be executed without any errors because it is not correlated with the main one. So I'm simply saying here select average unit price from products. So if I select this and execute it, I will not get any error, and you will see that in Management Studio after I finish talking about these types of queries in these slides. The other type of subqueries is the correlated queries. And in this time, we cannot execute the n subqueries here. We'll get an error. For example, if we select average unit price from products, and I have this condition where p.unit price greater or equal to 50, I'm taking this p unit price from the main query because p is the alias of products. So it's part of the outer query. So the outer query here is interfered with the inner query. So in this case, if I select only this subquery and try to execute it, I will get an error because it is correlated with the outer query or the main query. Let's jump to Management SQL Studio and have a practical example. Let's look at this practical example in SQL about the non-correlated query. If we come here, for example, and only select this part and execute, you execute it without any errors. We get the average of this unit price. So I didn't get any error because this query is not correlated with the main one. And if I execute the whole query and the subquery, you will get the whole results. And simply I'm telling SQL to retrieve all products that the unit price is greater than the average of unit price of the product. So that's why I need the subquery. Let's jump to the other type of subqueries, which are the correlated. In this case, I'm trying to do the same thing here. I'm trying to retrieve the product name unit price from the product. I'm giving an alias p for products, where unit price greater than select average unit price from the products. Up to here, we almost like the same previous example of the non-correlated. But because we added this condition here where p unit price is greater than or equal to 50, now these two queries are correlated because we used in the inner query here a condition and a column belongs to the main query, which is p unit price. P unit price is part of this query. I'm getting unit price of p. P is products. This is from the main query here, the outer query. So when I put this condition, that means I'm referring to this outer query. So I cannot execute this one alone. Now they are correlated. And if you try to do that, just select this subquery and execute it, and you will get an error. So p unit price could not be found, or could not be bound, sorry. So the only way to execute this query is just to select all of it as one part. So go and execute everything, and here we go. So this time we got only 7 rows because the difference between this query and the previous one, we added an extra condition here. In addition to retrieve the products that are greater than the average, we want the unit price be greater or equal to 50. So now we are more restricted. So that's why we got only 7 rows.